Yo ho, me pipers, yo ho, and welcome back to Salt and Vinegar Sail. We are in the Two Bones Tavern, and we're following up from our last video, which was a review of Regents Flake, this royal vapor or pour, if you will, So yeah, this drink, or excuse me, this smoke just had huge flavors of fig and raisin, white raisin, red raisin. And also just plum, just big fruit, stewed dried fruit flavors, just in the smell, but then also in the actual smoke. And then you also have this layer of Oriental, this Thai Izmir in there, which is famous really for having this sort of incensey, floral perfume, herbaceous kind of flavor there. So I wanted something to match that sort of flavor, and while I don't have anything really grapey going on here, which could be a criticism of this in general, I think this is still a fun cocktail that not only captures the spirit of this Regent's Flake and the royal nature of it, even just the flavor of it even kind of just evokes this sense of I don't know, any of y'all have synesthesia? I definitely don't, but I understand it. But when I smoke this, I see purple, so the theme of this was going to be something herbaceous, something floral. I eschewed using Saint Germain or some other sort of elderberry flower liqueur or drink based on that liquor, mostly because it's not shelf stable. So if I bought it, I would have to use it right away. Second of all, a lot of the cocktails that I was looking up for it just didn't excite me. I don't know. Maybe for another day. Spring is right around the corner. Maybe. But this is sort of a play on a couple of drinks that I really, really liked. I talked a little bit in the last video about the Aviation, an all-time classic cocktail, one of my favorites. I even have a bottle of creme de violette just for my Aviations. These are pretty hard to find sometimes, so for some of you this drink may actually be a little out of the ballpark, but that makes it even more fun that we're making it here. I'm not sure I saw other videos online about this. I haven't heard much about this cocktail. It is a newer cocktail. This drink actually is not a play on the Aviation. This drink, the Lady in Blue, is a play on another cocktail called the White Lady. So there are a lot of ladies. There's a pink lady, which I believe is Curacao gin and grenadine, but I don't know if the Curacao is in there or not. Usually the theme between the ladies is gin and Curacao. And then you can add other modifiers to change the lady. The White Lady has egg white, so it's almost like a gin sour almost with Curacao. It's delicious. It's an incredible drink. If you've not tried a sour or like a traditional sour with the egg white, try it. It's worth it. It's definitely worth it. You know, I think when you're first getting into this, you're like, egg? Ew, I'm not putting egg in my drink. No, trust me, do it. And, for those of you who have, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, the Lady in Blue is a newer cocktail. I cannot remember the name of the bartender who created it, but I do remember the story being that the bartender was working at the bar in a hotel called the Seabach Hotel. And I just briefly looked this up when I was looking up this particular drink. But I do love old stories about haunted hotels and things like that. So anyway, this hotel that the bartender worked at was supposedly haunted by a woman who stalked the halls and wore a blue dress. So they were looking for a drink to mimic that, and the White Lady plus our blue ingredients makes for a fun, ghastly sort of cocktail. But I really liked the purple and what the blue does to it. So what are our ingredients in the Lady in Blue? You're going to start with London Dry Gin. The only London Dry I currently have, well, I have a few London Dries actually, but the only one I thought was appropriate here is, I'm going to go with Roku. Ford's is my other go-to that I always have. That is also a citrus Ford, but it's a little dry. It's not super sweet, which is what I like about it. The only other one I have is Tanqueray at the moment. I don't have any Beefeater. I think Beefeater would probably be the way to go. But Tanqueray is more juniper forward, and I think this one wants more citrus. So the only citrus forward gin I really have at the moment is the Roku gin, which is the yuzu. and bitter orange. So, or at least yuzu. I don't know if it has bitter orange or not, actually. Most of them do, but it might not. So I'm going with Roku. Great stuff. It's not super expensive. It's been out for a while, and I'm actually starting to see it more and more often, which is kind of good. It's awesome. It's nice and clean, dry, and has that sort of citrus forward. I can talk another day about Roku. Just means 6 in Japanese, and it's 6 ingredients. So they try to derive the flavors of gin from naturally occurring or at least grown in Japan ingredients. So that's kind of fun. There's like green tea in there and some other stuff. So it's cool. But it's it's not outside of the realm of a London dry gin. So if you tried that, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's gin. You wouldn't be mistaken for like some Japanese version of gin or something like that. So cool. That's cool. The next ingredient is blue curacao. Now we're only using a little tiny bit of this, and you'll see when we actually put it together. It gives it some color, but this is what makes it that lady drink, right? Because we need gin and curacao. Normally you would use dry curacao or a triple sec or something like that just to give it an orange flavor. But because this doesn't have the egg white in it, we need something silky and smooth, but also a curacao. So we need the blue curacao because that's going to give us extra oomph of sugar versus like a normal curacao or dry curacao. This is much lower alcohol, but it's more syrupy, really, and has that nuclear blue color, which is cool. So I'm excited for that. And then the creme de violette. So far, blue curacao, you can get that anywhere. Any London dry gin, you can get that anywhere. This next ingredient is going to put this particular drink probably outside of the realm for a lot of folks, and that is creme de violette. This is a notoriously difficult to get beverage. There's only 2 liquor stores in, like, I think almost 100 miles. There's a third one. There's a third one that's about three hours away from here that I know has it. So yeah, it's a little hard to find, but once you do acquire a bottle of this, and I'm sure something like an online retailer you can get this also, but once you buy this bottle, you use it in 1/4 ounce servings, so this bottle will probably last me a decade. I have this bottle mostly just to make Aviations because I love Aviations, but it has a very, very, very strong floral flower flavor. And you use any more than 1/4 ounce of this in literally anything, and it tastes like you're gulping up soap water or something, like soapy water. So you have to be really, really careful, and really, you do not need much of this at all. It's not super sweet, but boy is it good. It's really good. There may be other brands that make this. I'm not sure. This is pretty much the one that you'll see when you go looking for it. And it's good. If you want a classic Aviation, you want this. Although I think most people don't use it, don't make Aviations with this because it is so hard to find. So most people don't even associate the Aviation with this. But we do need this. I think it's pretty important because as a flavor profile, it's going to give us that herbal, incensey sort of flavor that we want with the Regents Flake, and that's also going to provide us the bulk of our color. So we want that also. This next ingredient might make it even more difficult. So that is orange flower water or orange blossom water you'll see sometimes. I think this is a traditional Middle Eastern ingredient. So if you live anywhere that has like a halal store or a Middle Eastern grocery store or something like that, that's probably where you're going to find this. I had to get it online because I could not find it anywhere. I even have a World Market, just down the street. That's one of the largest international grocery stores in the country, and they didn't have it. Yeah, this might be trouble for you. I do unfortunately think it's kind of important. The reason I have this is because it's an orgeat, and I make my own orgeat, so I need it. I use a lot of it. But this is another one of those things where it's like you use like 2 drops of it, like a whole bottle of, like a half-liter bottle of orgeat for me uses like 4 drops. So you really don't need much. This is I've had this forever, and I've probably used that much of it. So yeah, you can get that. I would say you could probably eschew this if you didn't want to, mostly because you're going to get a big orange flavor out of this. If you didn't have this, you could probably just express an orange peel into it. You might get sort of the same effect, I think. So yeah, that's one avenue you could take. So the last ingredient, lemon. It is a lemon base, so we are going to shake this bad boy. Let's get making it. Okay, my friends, I did forget this does actually have simple syrup in it, but it's just a drop. Because this curacao is really sweet. You really don't need them. You could probably even eschew the. I think what are we looking at? It says half an ounce. That's a pretty good amount actually. And I've tried this drink before and didn't find it too cloying, so that might be a way to go. So let's get started. Let's do our lemon juice first. I've got this already pulled out. We need 3/4 ounces. Next, we are going to do, we saved this for last actually, do our gin. Ounce and a half. I like them a little dry, so you could probably get away with it. Ounce and a quarter, but I like ounce and a half. That smells so good. Alright, then just a teeny 1/4 ounce of our creme de violette, excuse me. We will do 1/2 ounce of simple. I'm almost out. And lastly, we're going to do 3 drops of our orange blossom water. And you see this, it's just the tiniest little, there we go. Alright, let's get to shaking. Let's get a gas escape. Okay. So you'll probably notice this isn't going to be terribly blue. Like I said, we only use a tiny little bit of this. It just kind of gives it a purple hue, if you will. I'm also going to double strain this. My lemons are sort of chunky today. I don't normally double strain because I usually don't care. And I have a feeling from where you all are standing, that is going to look sort of cloudy, almost gray, right? If you want to retain more of the purple flavor, you could stir that and then strain it. You could do that. I don't think it would taste as good, but that's a possibility. Now, what do we do with our curacao? Now, I'm going to try this. I've done it successfully a few times already, but we only need just a bar spoon, right? And we're going to pour it down the side so that it rests on the bottom. And then, before you serve it, you can give it a little stir to let the blue swirl around on the bottom. And that, my friends, is a lady in blue. Look at it resting on the bottom. What would you garnish this with? I'm not sure. I think probably flowers, if you had some edible flowers, like some edible orchids or hibiscus or something, would be pretty cool, I think. You know, it's not super purple, I know. I think if you stirred it. But let's give it a taste. Whoa, yeah, you definitely, even just in that little bit, any more of that and you'd be toast. But the orange is great too. The orange, the Roku gin is so bracing and so orangey and floral. This would have been a good one for Meridian now that I think about it. But the lemon too just cuts through that sugar, makes it nice and bright and poppy. This is a dangerous one. Like my beloved Aviation, I love the Aviation so much, but this is kind of better. This is kind of better, and it's more blue. I just like looking at that. I wish you all could see that a little better. Maybe I'll stir it next time and see if it tastes any better. I'm sure it would be a lot more blue, but ooh, that's good. So this is our pairing video for Regents Flake and Temple Bar, where we have made a Lady in Blue cocktail. So thank you all for joining us. Smooth sailing, and we'll catch you next time.